Many American voters have said they don't trust Hillary Clinton anymore. So what would she say to them?
Oh, that really hurts my feelings, I have to tell you. I believe by the end of this campaign, people will know that I will fight for them and they can count on me.
It's surprising to hear you say that because you've been in politics for 20 years, so it's not like people don't know you. I mean, to just get real about it, are you having a problem connecting?
Well, I don't know. I mean, you can ask me that, and obviously it's not the nicest question to hear because I feel like I have a long record of working on the issues that I believe are important to people. And I'm going to continue to do that.
And she's apologized for using a private email server while she was Secretary of State, but she's also blaming Republicans for her scandal. So which is it? Is she sorry, or is the GOP just out to get her?
I mean, I'm sorry that I made a choice that has resulted in this kind of situation. But it's also, as we now know very clearly, the way that the Republicans are trying to bring as they admit, poll numbers down. This committee was set up, as they have admitted, for the purpose of making a partisan political issue out of the deaths of 4 Americans. If I were president and there were Republicans or Democrats who were thinking about that, I would have done everything to shut it down.
All right, Eric Bolling, I'm going to start with you because she blitzed the weekend. We didn't even get a chance to talk about Saturday Night Live. Yes. I'm not going to even try the sports reference. I was going to, but
all-out blitz? Linebackers,
bring
corners.
them all, corners, linebackers.
There you go, David. See, I know exactly where you're going with that.
I'm in training.
You know who else brought the blitz? NBC brought the blitz. It was a Hillary weekend. They got Hillary on Saturday Night Live. And then this, an hour town hall, pancakes in politics. Hillary, how do you flip your pancakes? Or what's your favorite celebrity unhealthy drink? I mean, come on, that was an infomercial for Hillary Clinton. So clearly NBC is trying to get her back in the game. And for the record, if I were her, I wouldn't be doing those. She just doesn't come off as likable.
But this is a weird thing. I wanted to ask you, Tom, because so it was a big deal to be on the season premiere of Saturday Night Live. That's a great booking for her. And you know, it's fun, and that was what her team said they wanted her to do, look more likable, more approachable. So she does that. It's actually pretty decent for her, right? Gets a lot of attention. It could have carried on into Monday, but instead they do the town hall where the headline is, now we have angry Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, they can't let it sit. I mean, that's the whole thing with comedy. You got to let it stew a little bit. And she was great on Saturday Night Live, even though she wasn't great, because she let the other people shine. Kate McKinnon does a great Hillary, and that was a really funny sketch. She should have let this week go, and we could have been playing that sketch, but now we're watching her. It was pancakes and petulance, that thing, her yelling about Benghazi half the time. So, yeah, I don't think that pancake breakfast went well, because it was her getting angry and reminding us about Benghazi when we weren't even talking about it. We were talking about Saturday Night Live.
But she wants to talk about that, right?
Yeah, but you know what? I think he's right, because she should have just let it breathe. You know, she hit the mark with the SNL thing. Just let that kind of like marinate a little bit, give it some space. But she didn't do that. So this whole blitz and/or blitzkrieg that they have for her campaign, lightning warfare for those.
I was going to say full court press, but I asked Eric beforehand. I'm like, that's basketball. So what's the football equivalent? And I said blitz.
I think
I knew about that. Geraldo, let me put up this poll here. This is one of the things I think that Hillary Clinton was reacting to this morning. It's not just the fact that she's got Republican candidates on her tail. She's also got Bernie Sanders. This is the new NBC Wall Street Journal poll, showing Bernie Sanders in New Hampshire still 10 points or 9 points up above Hillary Clinton. And then when you go to that same poll and you match her up against Republicans, she's also down against Bush and Trump and Fiorina. And then if you look at the other one here, let's see, in New Hampshire, that was Iowa, excuse me, New Hampshire, this almost kind of the same numbers. So she's in, I think, the kind of the fight of her life. So maybe you do have to do a town hall like that for an hour with NBC News to try to get your name out there.
Well, I think, contrary to most, that she had a pretty good week going back to Kevin McCarthy. But she reminds me most of a lyric from John Denver. More than anything else, I'm sorry for myself. It goes like that way.
So be a first on the five.
Let me go back to why I think she had a good week. I think that Kevin McCarthy telling the truth accidentally undermined the Benghazi hearings in a way that will, I think, be regarded by historians as a turning point. Finally, the man who will be the Speaker of the House in all likelihood admitted that the Benghazi hearing was bogus and it was political and it was designed.
Or that could just be his opinion.
Yeah, but
he doesn't speak for me.
You're calling it the truth and admit it. But that's your perspective.
It may be his personal. It may be his personal opinion,
Yes.
Eric. That's absolutely
But you can't.
true.
But you're offering it for the truth of the matter asserted, and I say
He
no way.
is the
Ask Trey
man-
Gowdy. He doesn't think that
He
this
is the
political.
man designated, as far as we know, unless there's a
Chaffetz.
Jason Chaffetz will not. I don't think he will be. I think Kevin McCarthy will be the Speaker of the House, and he's the person who said this effort has been designed and tailored and has the effect of being a personal attack on her and notching down her numbers successfully. As far as Bernie Sanders is concerned, I have to admit that he is doing far better, Dana, than I ever anticipated.
Wow.
Those crowds are
Did you see
gigantic
that crowd
and
this
vibrant, and they remind me a lot of the Ron Paul kids from 20 years ago. But I think that I still believe that she will be the nominee.
What about Biden?
And I do not think Joe Biden will run.
One of the reasons I disagree with you, yeah, she had a good SNL skit. However, the numbers are horrible. In New Hampshire, she's losing to Bernie Sanders in New Hampshire.
Well, we haven't seen the impact of this last week. This is the best week she's had in a month, and I think you can't.
Well, but I think that one of the things I think she's in really in trouble is because then she's spent a ton. She's raised a lot of money, but she's spent a ton of money. Bernie Sanders has raised a lot of money and is sitting on it, and he can still draw crowds like this. Let's take a look at what she said this morning about Bernie Sanders.
I really believe this is great for the Democratic Party and for this election because we want to turn out as many people as possible. The difference between us on the Democratic side and the Republicans is a huge gulf. And if you care about your income, your family's income, then you've got to look at the Democrats.
Eric, about 72% in the latest Pew poll said that the country's going in the wrong direction. About 60% of the country thinks that especially that's true on the economy. The number one issue for voters all across the country is the economy. I don't think that message sells when Bernie Sanders is basically saying the opposite of what Hillary has her whole career up until recently.
Yeah, I'm not
about
sure
Wall
she
Street.
wants to be touting what she just said right there. She should be distancing herself. She should be showing how she's not like Bernie Sanders if she thinks she's going to have any sort of a chance to win. New Hampshire, Iowa, and then New Hampshire. She's losing in both to Bernie Sanders. If she takes a loss on both of those, yeah, I know Super Tuesday. She's got a big wall built, and that could do very well for her. But boy, coming out of those two, losing both of those would be very, very tough. The point you made earlier, Bernie Sanders, 20,000. He packed the stadium, 20,000 people inside, 5,000 outside. She would be loving to get. She would love to be able to get those kind of crowds, and she's not.
She is, in fairness, concentrating on small venues, maybe because she knows she can't pack a crowd in a big.
But
if she
still,
took the 20,000, how many would show up? If she took a stadium of 20,000,
I have no idea, but
They
really
wouldn't
think
take that risk.
All of the surveys you've seen are all pre-Kevin McCarthy, pre-Saturday Night Live, pre-Pancake Breakfast, and it could be that the NBC rolled over for the former First Lady, Secretary of State, etc. But
I gotta wonder,
the impact
Paige,
is the same.
do you think that NBC would do an hour-long pancake breakfast, and maybe they have one scheduled with Bernie Sanders?
They do one with Donald Trump for sure.
They would not do one with Bernie Sanders, but again,
They might.
They didn't expect this kind of thing. I mean, no one was thinking that Bernie Sanders would be beating her the way he is, like handedly, in New Hampshire and Iowa. That is a big problem for this coronation that they were expecting. Okay, then you've also got the Biden factor. So no matter what anyone wants to say, like Clinton's in trouble, real trouble. This wasn't supposed to turn out like this.
Can we just point out also Politico is reporting that they believe Biden is leaning towards a yes.
Yeah.
I think that what do you think about Biden getting anything? You like it?
I mean, I think
good for comedy.
Yeah, well, obviously, but I think he'd be crazy not to. I mean, Hillary Clinton's numbers are terrible. They're terrible against. We're talking about Jeb Bush getting 50 to her 42. Of course, she's in trouble, and he should get in. But about this New Hampshire and Iowa thing, aren't we always hearing about New Hampshire and Iowa? Oh, there's such they're big deals, but. They always, I can remember Bob Dole beating George H.W. Bush. Am I right? Pat Buchanan winning in New Hampshire. And then they go into Super Tuesday and they bury them. It happens all the time. Am I wrong about this?
I know. It's the system that we have. So you go to the election with the system you have, not necessarily the system you want. For now, Iowa and New Hampshire are the first. South Carolina, bless them, with all the rain, they will be third. And that's where what Eric was saying is that the Democrats have a way of being able to protect the nominee that they want.
Yeah.
Don't Republicans have that same?
We do not have it, and we
Is
should.
it South Carolina where the McCain dreams always die?
No, that's where we fight fair and square.